Hi, studio families. Lindsay here, just here to give you a little bit of an update on what our studio is going to be doing moving forward after hearing the most recent development about schools being closed to the end of the school year. So here we go. Please don't worry, we are not going anywhere. We're not closing the studio, so you can breathe a sigh of relief. Right now, again, I'm just taking this 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and one decision at a time. The decision to continue Zoom classes is, I know it's not ideal for some people, but there are a large majority of people participating in the Zoom classes that are having a blast with it, that are loving it, that are giving me emails and texts and messages saying how much it's benefiting their kiddos. So for that, I thank you so much. And I know that a lot of you tried it the first week and maybe it wasn't your cup of tea or it was difficult for your kiddo. I completely understand that, but this video is actually to help you and encourage you in kind of just some steps you can take to try again, and or just informing you of what we're going to do should mandates be lifted in May or whenever they might be. Again, I don't like to predict anything right now because we've been getting a lot of surprises lately, but I still believe that the end of this is coming sooner than later. So would love for you to believe that with me. Okay, so first of all, even if you're not taking classes right now, I really invite you to listen to the rest of this video because we have some awesome things that we're going to be doing over the next several weeks. So first of all, Zoom classes. Yes, technology stinks sometimes, and Zoom is just like doing a FaceTime with somebody. Sometimes the Wi-Fi isn't strong, sometimes the internet does what it's going to do, and sometimes there's a delay in the teacher's voice to the students, and sometimes that does have an effect on the quality of the class. But again, the quality of the class is not going to be anything next to what it is in person, and so we just look forward to the day of being back in person. But for now, Zoom is our best option. I looked into several others, and they are just they're a little overwhelming, a little bit too much work, and we just believe that Zoom can continue to help us right now, continue to be that bridge until we are, this whole thing is over. So what we're going to do to help you, though, this is key. What we're going to do to help supplement and even try to get a few of you, more of you on board with this whole Zoom idea is that the teachers are going to all make videos every week, and some of us have already been doing this, make videos of ourselves apart from Zoom with the dances and the dances for the show, the choreography, and all the new stuff we've been learning, and with them facing away from the camera so that they can help that. Teachers also now know a little trick they're going to be teaching, and we're all going to be trying in class, to where there is an option on Zoom video where you can make sure the teacher is pinned to the top so they only see the teacher. And then also there is an option and a feature that we didn't know about until one of my teachers showed it to us on Friday at our staff meeting that can mirror us. So if it'll be on your end, and we'll teach that in class this week, but it's a very cool feature that helps the kids not be learning things backwards when we're facing you. So anyway, just some little things, but the YouTube videos are going to be awesome. They're going to still just be the dances, because without further ado, I'd like to announce that we are still doing our show. We just may not be doing it on June 27th. So again, just waiting for whatever our state's going to do, whatever our county's going to do with business mandates. So if they lift the mandate for businesses and people to resume life as we know it, we will come into that slowly. We won't let everybody come back at once. I have ideas on how to let that come back slowly, but then as soon as that happens, we will resume in-studio classes, hopefully before our 2020 season would have been over, which would have been the end of June. That being said, I do not have a new date for the show. Again, looking at something in July, possibly early August, but please don't count those as definite, because things could change very quickly. We just don't know right now. But I refuse to cancel the show. Several reasons. I just believe in persevering. I believe in continuing what we're doing. I believe that people make decisions sometimes too early when it comes to these types of things, and not negating how serious the situation is, but I do believe that this show must go on. I have a couple of seniors that were graduating this year. They've already been taken away so many different things. I'm not taking away their last show as well, and we've got an amazing show for you. On that note, I don't know if you saw our social media poster and flyer, but we do have the flyer done. It's been done for a while. I just released it a couple weeks ago. But the theme of our show, well, as we all know, is Wizard of Oz, but the catchphrase or the underlying storyline and what we've been working on since the very beginning is there's no place like home. So I know the message of this show is going to hit home even more powerfully than it would have had we not all gone through this. So again, praying families, please just lift up the preparation for it, and it just looks different on all cylinders, but again, we are going to let you know as soon as we know. My husband has an awesome phrase right now. He's like, we won't know until we know. So as soon as we know, you'll know. And I don't think it's a bad thing that none of us are making any plans or setting dates right now. We shouldn't be holding each other to that right now. There's just a lot of grace that needs to go as we continue to ride out this storm together. Number three thing I want to announce to you today is it's an invitation. This is not a mandate to we've got enough of those going on, but to those of you who maybe haven't tried Zoom classes yet, or you did and it wasn't your cup of tea that first week, I really invite you to try again. Again, technology is not perfect. We were all trained very fast on Zoom. We are learning the curve as we go. We're learning different ways of teaching with Zoom, and it's time right now to jump on board, because let's say government mandates are lifted and we can open the studio up maybe first week of June, or even as early as mid-May. I don't know, I'm a hopeless romantic. I think that these things might be lifted before then. It's going to be really tough for us to bring in students that haven't been with us along the way. So now's the time to join, even mid-month. And on that note, if money is an issue, I want you to reach out to us. Please don't be embarrassed. We know, my husband and I know what it's like to have to reach out to people and ask for help, ask for grace right now. We've had to do it more and more and more in the last several weeks, just knowing that we just don't have what we need in order to make different bills happen. So I want to make sure that dance is available for your kids. We've had a family or two step in and pay double their tuition to cover other kids' tuition. And on that note, I never would have asked for that. I never would have announced that. But now I'm starting to see maybe the beauty in us as a identity family supporting one another and holding each other up like that. So if that is something you could do, and I'm not asking you to not make wise financial decisions right now, but if that's something you could do, is to pay a little extra to cover somebody else, I will send you the name of the kiddo and what it means to them to resume dance or to cover their dance for the next month or unforeseeable future. On that note too, again, I have a really hard time asking for people to ask other people for finances, because normally we do have a scholarship fund and we have different events that cover our scholarship fund, like the Duck Spring game, the dish crew would have made $500 that game, and then that would have covered people's tuition, scholarship tuitions. We would have had our Royal Tea, which usually raises about $1,000, and that covers our scholarship kids. So we really are looking for people that would step up, and that businesses around town that are still thriving, that are still operating. Maybe you have a family member that, I don't know, is sitting on money somewhere and they want to give it to a small business. It's completely tax deductible. Dusty can get you all that information. You'll just reach out to us and let us know how you can help us in that way. That would be huge. I would like to give a praise report too. We were able to cover our staff's payroll. Just the teachers. This is apart from me and Dusty. That is their paychecks were covered for the month of March with the 100 or so students that we have dancing right now. So we are really appreciative. We thank you for allowing them to still have a paycheck. Thank you to those that are sewing into this studio. And also, that being said, we did take a really big hit in enrollment, and we're used to operating with about 175 students. So again, this is hard on all of us, and we're just doing what we can with what we have. So we would love for you to jump on board. There are three things, I always have three things that I've gathered from people messaging me, giving me emails, reports from the teachers, reports from the students themselves. Not everybody might feel this way, but these are some of the stories that are coming out of just 2 weeks of Zoom classes. Number one is kids are learning perseverance, which I sometimes love and hate that word, because perseverance means it's going to get hard, it's going to get difficult, but you've got to see it through. And right now, that's where we're at. We're seeing some of this be really difficult, very odd, very different even for us teaching. It's just weird, but it's worth it, and I pray that you would grasp that as well. Number two, it's teaching kids discipline. Goes right along with perseverance. Discipline is for, it's a powerful word, especially for athletes, and dancers are athletes. That discipline is a huge character trait to teach your kiddos, even from a young age, that when odds are stacked against us, what will we still do? We'll hold commitments and show up for dance class even when we don't feel like it. That's a huge character trait to teach our kids. And I know that I've gone through times in my life where I did not have as much discipline, and I know that I should have and I could have. The third thing, and this is really cool, self-motivation. It teaches our kids to be self-motivators. I think in public schools, I've heard the word self-manager. So, there's awards given out for people who are self-managers, who don't need to be told what to do. So some of our older dancers are finding that they're actually having to work harder because the teaching is different, or they're getting the same teaching, it's just different. So they're having to work harder, and they're actually having to work multiple times a week as opposed to just once or twice. So great feedback is coming there. I don't want to keep you for very much longer. I want to make this just a real quick update, but and then I know I said I had three things. I have one more that I heard a testimony for, and the mom told me that this has been Zoom classes in particular, and the connection that her daughter is receiving has been positive for her social and mental health during this crisis. So I am so thankful for those words, because that is what we exist for at Identity, is to encourage our kids even when we're apart from them, even when we're not able to be with them like we want to. We want to encourage and love on them and really boost their social and mental health during this time, because it's so important. Isolation is a doozy, and it can really cause a lot of depression and a lot of things that actually manifest themselves in just emotional outbursts and misbehaving and not wanting to do things and not wanting to continue with the things that they were doing that they once loved. Those are all signs of not being able to figure out what's going on inside with our emotions. And so just a regular weekly dance class is really going to help them start to work some of that out. So again, that's an invitation for you to join us right now, and if you have lost the Zoom codes or anything like that, please just email us. We'll get you all of that. And again, money does not need to be a deciding factor. We would love to have you. Again, we can take IOUs, we can take your word, we can give you scholarship. If we can get some donors within the studio or without, we can get some of this covered and really solidify the sustainability of the studio after this is all said and done. We've seen some great provision, we've had some great connection, and overall this has been a really positive experience, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you supporting really what Dusty and I have worked on almost our entire marriage, and so it's been 13 years now. I've had the studio, or the group, really the dance group for 17 years this year. So it's just an honor and a blessing to continue to serve you guys. And we promise that there is an other side to this, and we want you to see it with us. So get a hold of us, email us. Get your kiddos logged back into Zoom. We are excited for what the coming weeks and the months are going to hold. We're going to be able to testify that this was hard, but it was worth it. So we thank you all so much for your prayers, and I look forward to hearing from you and hope you guys are all staying healthy and well. Bye.